We are live. Hey, Lindsay. I got my good friend Lyndsay Phillips here.
Howdy.
And our business coach, Jim Palmer. Tonight's super special, and we're glad to have you. So we're going to take the first few minutes. Everyone's going to go and share it with their respective pages, as we always do. So
that earlier today. Whoa.
Thank you. Wonderful, wonderful, Lindsay. And I think tonight we are going to do
announcements.
Oh, well, I'm going to turn the time over to Lindsay for the announcements.
First, we'd like to announce our contest winner for sharing our Facebook, our live Facebooks that we do. And the winner for December is, drumroll, it is Tim Sohn. Tim, I don't know if he's joining us tonight.
Stones. So I'm sure he'll
Tim Sohn, that name's familiar.
Yes, he is also in your Build Your Dream Business Now Facebook group. Yes.
Very cool.
Tim, if you are on, take your bow. Take your bow. We will email you an Amazon gift card. Thank you for sharing.
And
we're still running that contest, right, Lindsay?
We are for the new year for sure.
And what is that contest, Lindsay?
We want to share the love, maybe between now and Valentine's Day. And so whether you're watching us live or you're watching the video later on, just share it onto your own feed and we'll know you shared it. And the more you share, the more you are entered to win.
I love it. And so every Thursday night, you have the opportunity to be entered into this $50 drawing.
I know. Where they can buy either marketing books or wine or both, is what I always say.
All right. I shared it on my page and in the Build Your Dream Business book or group.
Wonderful. It's lovely that Jim actually wants to get in on this $50 Amazon gift card action.
Oh, definitely. That's why I showed up. You kidding me? It's way past my bedtime.
So, first of all, I think we should do a quick introduction of Jim because he deserves an introduction. Wow. And then I think we should put him into business coach mode and ask him what he thinks of our new name. And he's going to be completely honest with us because he's known us for so long.
Yes.
Yes.
And put us in the right mindset for the rest of our live Facebooks.
What was it, Lindsay and Lindsay, or two blondes or something like that? Or what were you called?
Tell you. Let me introduce you first. You need an introduction, okay?
Okay, well, I don't go lean him too far. Okay, good.
DreamBizCoaching.com. Yes. Or actually, I should put Get Jim Palmer. Doesn't matter. Jim has a million websites because he's that awesome. So tonight our special guest is Lindsay and Lindsay's and I's business coach, Jim Palmer. He is the Dream Business Coach. He has been a business coach for how long, Jim?
8 years.
And he will take you from here, clear up to here, because he knows how to market. He knows how to sell. He knows how to fight he knows how to do what, Lindsay?
Brand.
He knows how to deal with problematic issues in your business. He knows how to set up multiple streams of income for your business. This man went from he had cancer a while ago, and now he has dreamed of living on a boat, and guess where he lives? He manifested and worked, and he now lives on a boat. Look how lovely it is. So he is a true example of put your mind to it, get to work, and make your dreams happen. So you can find out more about Jim at getjimpalmer.com, and he'll be doing a lot of dropping of URLs tonight, I'm sure. So we'll just let him handle it. We will let him handle it. So
do what he does.
It is an honor. It is such an honor to be with you, ladies. Two of my favorite people.
Yes.
We're ready to light it up. Let's make the next 10 minutes count.
Let's do it. Okay, Lindsay, why don't you quiz Jim about our Thursday night lives?
So what do you quiz him? What do you think? What? How long do you think what do you think our name should be? Or what do you?
Do you have a name you want me to critique, or you just want me to come up with a name on the spot?
What do you think our name is?
Oh, that is so mean. That is so mean.
Wow.
You said
It is
condom.
mean.
I didn't know where to go with that.
I was just wondering. Why don't you tell him what her name is? Why don't you tell him what her name is and ask him what he thinks?
All right. So we've hummed and hawed with various names. So we're always here with a glass of wine and a beverage, and we chat about marketing. Super low key. We're pretty funny and silly. Don't take ourselves too seriously. So we are Marketing and Merlot with L squared.
Oh, I like that.
Oh
my God.
I really thought he was going to eat that.
Now, this is not Merlot. It's a green glass, but it's Riesling. So I failed that test.
Attaboy.
But we've actually been letting all the provisions go down because tomorrow we go on vacation. So we've been having left. What?
A vacation from our rough.
Yeah. Chef goes, we're taking a vacation from our very rough life
in Florida. Yeah, please get me out of here.
It really feels weird to go on vacation when, it literally feels like we're on vacation every day. But hey, somebody's got to do it.
So I'm glad you like our name. Hummed and hawed. It's like having a newborn that you don't name it for 3 weeks.
Marketing in Merlot. And you know what you ought to do when you come on is you ought to share what Merlot you're drinking. Not to, steal Gary Vaynerchuk's old wine library TV show, but, you ought to say, this is a Merlot from so-and-so. I'm sure you'll be from the vineyards of, the West Coast there, One-Click Lindsey. I don't know what you make up there in Canada. Probably. Yeah. Denny Crane. There's our buddy Adam Homey. How about that?
Hey, Adam. What do you think, Adam? Marketing and Merlot. Do you like it?
Business building strategies. Business building strategies that will give you and your business a buzz. Ooh.
Oh, shizzle!
Ka-ching! Hey, I got to ask you a technical question. So when I'm looking at the pictures on the screen, I'm like in this narrow thing, but like right here, it's all gray. Do you see my hands or not?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know if I have to stay in this little tiny box or not.
No, I totally see your hands. Do you see his hands, Lindsay?
Yeah, you see it, but the audience only sees that.
Oh.
So if you look at Facebook, you see that thin sliver.
I closed all my browsers because I don't want my boat Wi-Fi to interrupt any part of this incredible presentation we're about to do.
Yes. So stay within that little.
Okay, I will stop moving. I'll just sit right here.
I'm glad you like it, Kelly.
Kelly likes it. Awesome.
Yep.
Okay. Well, most people are here. Thank you. So that's official. Every Thursday night, 6:00 Pacific. Marketing and Merlot. Give your Jim say something a buzz.
Yeah. So if we just want to spitball a little bit, would that be all right?
Yeah. Yes, that's why we're here.
It would be awesome if the name not only says what it is, but says when it is, right? So I don't know if it's Marketing Merlot on Thursday or Thursday's Marketing Merlot. If you could work in Thursday somehow, that would be pretty cool.
I agree.
Thursday nights with Marketing and Merlot?
Now, I like Marketing and Merlot.
At the beginning?
Marketing and Merlot on Thursday's Marketing and Merlot. I don't want anything too big in front of Marketing and Merlot,
Gotcha.
But it's marketing and it's Thursday. It must be Marketing and Merlot, where the information we're gonna share with you is gonna give your business and you a buzz. It's kind of catchy.
Yes.
I know you're so.
There's good. Jim. This is why Jim's a business coach. That's why we brought him.
Who doesn't
today.
want a buzz, right?
By all means.
I love it.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Jim.
My job is done.
Yeah, that's it. Thanks. Yeah.
So what do Mark? I love marketing.
Merlot and cats. Oh,
marketing Merlot and cigars, Adam Homey. I don't know.
You hate Merlot?
Ian, darling, honey, you're not supposed to really comment on that.
Well, that's real. Hey, Ian, real helpful there, buddy.
I do prefer Riesling, but I will drink a Merlot.
Darling.
One of these two hosts will speak to you later.
It's marketing, honey. Come on now. Okay.
Yep.
I don't know any white wines that start with M, so shush.
All right. I think it's good.
Awesome.
So today, we're going to be talking about mindset, right?
That's right.
What does mindset have to do with entrepreneurship? I thought it was just marketing and sales, Jim.
Now, you know what's interesting is if you talk to some business coaches will tell you, I can predict how successful somebody will be if you like take a mixing bowl and you put in your talent, your gifts, your work ethic, your drive, your ambition, your moral compass, and a little bit of mindset, and you mix it all up. That will tell how successful somebody's going to be if you can just picture that. If you can't picture it, have another glass of Merlot. But anyway, just stick with me here. Now, I don't think that's correct. This guy doesn't think that's correct. Here's what I believe. You take the mixing bowl and you put in your gifts, your talents, your work ethic, your drive, your moral compass, your ambition, all that. That makes up the machine that is your business. All of those things have potential to really be something special. The only thing which will decide, the only thing that will decide how fast and how far you go is right here. It's your mindset. And I could point to you 5 CPAs, like 5 attorneys, 5 talented marketers, 5 anything. And if they all have the same thing, but one of them has the most awesome mindset, has uber confidence, and just knock down, drag out, kick every demon to the curb, kick every fear, whatever, that person will achieve more than the other people. That person, the 5th person, let's say, who has the better mindset and maybe even a little less skill, a little less talent, everything, they'll still outperform the people who have more talent. So that's mindset is everything. So there's a short answer.
Have you personally seen that in your 8 years of coaching? You've seen people come in, they have the wrong mindset, and even though they have talent, they just completely trip.
So is the question, have I seen people with good mindset and no talent?
Yeah. Well, have you just seen this play out multiple times over your 8 years?
Most definitely. In fact, of all the calls I did today, 3 of the calls came for one thing, and I end up doing a whole bunch of mindset because they were stuck in a certain place and they're looking for a strategy or something like that. I need a new technique. I need a strategy. This isn't working. I'll ask 3 or 4 questions and I'll say, you're not stuck for a strategy. You're just not getting out of your own way. What's going on? And it always, what a lot of it boils down to is it boils down to fear in one way, shape, or form. It boils down to fear. In fact, chapter 2 of my new book, Just Say Yes, there's the 2 F words, right? And one is fear, because fear is like one of the biggest things. And there's all kinds of fear. It's not just fear, big umbrella. I mean, there's the fear of, being found out, right? Or they're going to find out it's just me. They're going to find out I have a home-based office in the corner of my basement. I'm not really this big business, right? There's all kinds of things going on. I can't launch a book because they're going to find out I mangle the English language and, I'm just some kind of challenged boob and I can't put my name in a book. I can't do videos. I got a horrible voice. I can't think off the top of my head. I'm not going to do a podcast because I got a horrible voice and blah, blah. We'll make excuses for everything, right? But it's all fear-based. And if you said, Jim, you got to boil it down to one thing, it's the fear of what other people will think about you. And it could be what people out there think. It could be what your lovely spouse or partner or business partner, what your family thinks of you. I can't go, launch that. I can't go spend $10,000 and exhibit somewhere or get more Facebook marketing work with a coach. I can't do that because if it doesn't work, I'm going to look even worse and I'll be even more broke. I'll be even more debt. So fear is really the thing that it literally will freeze somebody in their steps from moving forward. People become paralyzed that way.
How easy is it to change your mindset if you're stuck in all that crap?
Yeah. What's the answer?
It's nothing I can divulge here for free. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, we're kicking off. He's out.
I know. Okay, I will give you a very, very powerful strategy. So I've shared in a lot of different ways the videos that I do, the shows, the books, Dream Business Academy. I go into this in depth. Some of probably the 2 greatest fears that I had, and I had them all. Public speaking. Almost didn't graduate high school because of public speaking. I whittled my way or worked my way through my career not doing it. But then when I wrote my first book, The Magic of Newsletter Marketing, I started getting all these opportunities to speak, invitations, and I just kept pushing them away because I didn't want to speak God, I can't get in front of 200 people. Are you kidding me? You know what I mean? And then there came to be a point in my business, and actually, you know, when my girls were, I don't know if they were juniors, but we were definitely looking at colleges. They both were going to go to college. We were in no shape financially to pay for college, let alone even help them. And so what I did, and this is the strategy, you need to personalize the result of your inaction. You need to take the cost of the inaction off of you and put it on somebody that you love more than yourself, right? Because we as people and entrepreneurs will always do something. We'll always step up, work harder, get up earlier, dig deeper, whatever that looks like. We'll do that in a much bigger fashion for somebody else than we will do it for ourselves. Proof in point. So the 2 or 3 years before that, I was okay as the owner of my business. I was the king, man. I was the founder, president, CEO of my own corporation, right? That's the beauty of being an entrepreneur. We don't report to anybody down the hall. So if I said no to a speaking gig and I knew damn well if I spoke, it would bring in more business, I'm okay at the track that I'm on. I'm okay growing at this smaller pace. That's something we'll rationalize to ourselves. But when I realized my inability and my not willing to man up for a few years was going to impact my ability to be a good father, that's when I said all bets are off. So if you're not doing something in your business that you know down deep, and you're everybody's going to play nice, you'll put some little, I'm sure, you know, Lindsay, who has one click, if you're running the board, you're going to put up some people with nice comments. But if you, when you're laying there at 3 o'clock in the morning and you're wondering, how come I haven't had a new client in 3 months? I don't know if I'm going to be able to pay my rent. God, I've owned this business for 5 years and I still don't make as much as I did at the job that I quit to start the business. When you get into that mode, what you want to do is you get out of bed, you go look in the mirror and you say, why are you holding me back? And I mean, you look at yourself in the mirror. It's really hard to do, by the way. Go look at yourself. And I don't mean even do makeup where you're looking up here. Look at yourself in the friggin' eye and say, why are you holding me back? Why are you not doing the things you know will grow this business? Because it's not for lack of a strategy in most cases. And we can tweak a brand. We can tweak a tagline. It's always going to come down to mindset. Geez, don't get me started.
You know what? One of my favorite things that you say is do it anyway.
Yeah.
And I always say that to myself. I'm like, okay, because you regret the things you don't do versus the things you do, for me. And it's, if you just do it anyways and just like,
it's called the what ifs. The what ifs are things that are going to hold you back. Like, what if it doesn't work? And this works in your personal life, because I shared that in I don't want to keep name dropping my books. But in Just Say Yes, I actually talked. It occurred to me when Steph and I sold our house and we bought this big boat and we're getting ready to move on, but it's literally right before Dream Business Academy Orlando. And, let's see how many seeds I can put into this answer.
I know. I'm
seeding.
The master. So I'm thinking about this. I'm going, you know what's really cool is we decided to do this, but then as we're starting to move forward, Steph is purging the house, getting rid of stuff, and we're getting ready for sale, and we're buying. And then all these what ifs, like, what if I don't know how to drive a 50-foot boat? What if we sink? What if I run aground? What if we get lost out at sea? What if this? What if that? And these what ifs just, again, they wreak havoc on your mind. And the people who can rise above that and say, it's okay, you know, WTF or WTH if you're a little cleaner potty mouth, I guess. What the hell? Do it anyway, because there will be a time when it's no longer feasible or even an option to do some of the things. And for me, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, if God willing, I'm still, here. What if I'm too old and brittle to be able to, it takes a lot to run a boat like this, right? It's a 2-person job to begin with. So what if we say no right now and just stay in our house and keep doing everything we're supposed to do, all by the book. And then something happens, to either of our health or something. And then we never got a chance to do it. It's just like that in your personal life, and it's like that in business too. You gotta say, I'm really scared. I don't know if it's going to work, but what the heck? I'm going to do it anyway.
So here's a question for you, because some people are not self-aware. And so how do you know if your mindset needs tweaking? How do you know if you're standing in your own way?
Well, realistically, you might know if you can be really honest with yourself, but it's that believe it or not, that's probably the number one thing if you work with a good coach that they will do is they will put the mirror to your face and they'll hold you up and hold you accountable. And it's really hard to do that for yourself. I wasn't able to do it for myself. You guys know, you've heard me speak a number of times. There was a point in my career after I started coaching, and I think it was like my second or third year, and I was doing okay, but nowhere near like I wanted to do. And, one of the WTFs, I'll do it anyways, I joined this mastermind with some high-powered coaches in it. So automatically I'm in the room feeling like I'm really the underdog in there, right? Putting on a good face, brave face. And I call this my most embarrassing moment. And on one of the breaks, which I'm thankful it didn't happen in front of everybody, on one of the breaks, this guy came over to me, multi-million-dollar coaching business, and he said, Jim, I'm aware of what your goals are because you shared them earlier. I'm also aware of what you're doing now to market your business. But he said, I'm also aware of what you're not doing. And I thought he's going to make some suggestions for me. Well, he didn't do that. He said, I got a question for you. I said, yeah, go ahead. He goes, what makes you think you're entitled to achieve the same level of success as other people in the room, peers, friends, maybe myself, but yet you're not willing to step up and do the things that we've all done to grow our businesses? How does that work, Jim? And that was honestly,
Damn.
I felt the blood just went, beat red, and I got horribly embarrassed. And I flying home on that trip, I swore I would never be in that position again. I would never be seen and pointed out to be the weenie that I was being by not doing some of the things that I do now. I pretty much do it all. I mean, the last big demon that I slayed was doing my own live events. I knew I should be doing that. Doing a live event is one of the greatest ways to get yourself in front of a lot of people and get them to know you over a short period of time in a very powerful way, to introduce you as a coach and things like that. And I knew that instinctively. I knew that, but I was also scared. Like, well, what if the people who follow me on Facebook and the people on my email list, what if I market this and they don't come? Then, wow, that's going to suck. I'm going to owe a whole bunch of money to the hotel. And the flip side of that is, what if I really do have a following and I can get 30 or 50 people in a room, and then I don't know what to say for 3 days? What if I freeze? So it's a really, really, really big deal. But it's only when you conquer every single fear. I'll tell you this, ladies, there's nobody in the top 1% that has any issues with self-confidence or fears. Totally. They could do things better maybe, but nobody is sitting back going, geez, I know I should be doing video, but I don't know if I can do it. I know I should probably do some kind of a seminar. That's a bridge too far for me. Those people, statistically speaking, geez, I don't know what we had for dinner, but I feel wound up already. Those people,
he's fine tonight.
Statistically speaking, 80% of new businesses fail within the first 3 to 5 years. That's just proven for decades. Of those businesses that go, like say the 20%, the vast majority of those, I'd say probably 10 to 15% of those entrepreneurs eke out a living. Those are people that are continue to work 70, 80 hours a week. Many of them, the old joke of, small business owners, somebody works 80 hours a week to earn half of what he used to make at his job working 40 hours a week, that type of thing. That's true. There's a lot of truth and humor. The people who achieve high incomes, multiple 6-figure incomes, those are people that are willing to go all in. Success is an all-in game.
And they have
what mindset issue do you, Jim Palmer, currently deal with mindset issues?
Nothing as far as
Palmer answer. No one's watching.
No. I'll give you one, but nothing as far as growing my. What's that?
Barbara Walters.
No, I'm asking if Jim has personal mindset issues. Jim personally.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You're Barbara Walters.
Yeah. Yeah. One-Click's trying to make me cry. I'm not a fan of that.
No one's watching. No one's watching. No. It's us. We're just friends.
Oh, are you kidding me? Marketing and Merlot on Thursdays. Everybody's watching that. So I don't really have anything that I feel I need to slay to keep growing my business, because I actually have my business where I want it. I set a goal 5 years ago. Sam Gaylord, buddy. I set a goal. Sam! How lucky am I, Sam? The thorn right here, 2 roses. So I set a goal 5 years ago that, for many, many years, I used to bust hump as an employee. Then I had an 18-month furlough. And then when I started my business, I was working, 60, 78 hours for a lot of it. So 5 years ago, I set a plan. I want to work 3 days a week, and I've been able to achieve that, right? So I have enough growth in my business, and through my marketing and events, I continue to have enough clients that lets me earn a nice living, and I can work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and you know, truth be told, I love to work. So if I don't have anything going, if Stephanie and I aren't going somewhere doing something, or if it's raining, I'll probably be spending several hours on Monday and Friday working, but I don't have to. I've got no phone calls. So I've been able to achieve that. So that's a partial answer to your question. The mindset issue that I sometimes struggle with now in, say, the last 3 to 4 years is... Well, it's something that a lot of people struggle with, whether you earn 50 grand a year, $500,000, whatever you're earning. What if this goes away? Mm-hmm. And so, and part of that is, should I work harder?
Right.
I guarantee if I was willing to work 4 days a week coaching clients instead of 3, I could significantly increase my income. The fact of the matter is, at 59, I'll be 60 this year. I like 3 days a week.
Yeah.
And so
that was your goal.
So it's just, it is. But you know, when you're, maybe it's my generation or whatever, but when you are somebody who knows the correlation between hard work and reward, when you start backing off, in my opinion, the hard work, I still work very hard. You wonder, oh my gosh, on Mondays and Fridays, some days I'm like, maybe I should go do something. You know, it's a little hard. So that's number one. But I want to tell you the flip side of that. There were days when Stephanie and I, so this is, I don't think I've shared this with anybody, even you guys, and we're pretty close. There were days when Stephanie and I moved on the boat. I remember this one time. We were actually moving south. I think we were either in southern Maryland or Virginia. We were starting our trek. So it was in November. And I think it was a Monday. And we're sitting at this, we came to this marina where we were going to stay, because no matter how we're traveling, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we got to be stationary because I got to do my work. So Monday, and we decided to put our dinghy, the little boat, the inflatable boat with the motor, we put that in the water, and we dinghied over to this restaurant a little. So there we are, tooling across the water. The sun is out. It was minor league chilly. And we pulled up, we tied up the dinghy on the dock. We walked into this restaurant, had a killer meal. We dinghied back. We looked at each other on the way back and goes, who do we think we are? I mean, we were living the dream that we've worked so hard for, and we're entitled to it. I mean, I don't mean the entitlement thing, but we've created this life. But most everybody else is out working, and we're like just living life. And I'll be completely honest with you, it felt a little strange. I don't want to say guilty, but it felt very weird.
Yeah.
And so the big lesson there, and I've been thinking about this, when, you know, we all have mindset boards, you look at pictures of things. I don't have one here, but, you know, cars, houses, maybe your 401k, whatever it is we like to visualize, because what we think about expands, all that good stuff. When you finally get to a place that you've been working so hard for, so you've sort of arrived, not that, you know, we're going to just kick back and do nothing else, but when you get to that point, I would venture to say 95% of entrepreneurs just keep going, pedal to the metal, balls to the wall until they drop dead. They're working their hind end. They're working their ass off. Let's just say that, right? And so that's a mindset thing, right? You get to a point, you guys.
We sing.
I won't share what you don't want me to share.
Take a Friday afternoon off for crying out loud.
I'm looking at both of you gals, and when we started working together, you were nowhere near where you are now. I'm not taking credit for that, but what I'm saying is you have arrived at certain goals, probably 2 or 3 goals down the road from where you first thought when you started your businesses. And I know you're in a different place age-wise, and you got kids at home and all that, so you're still pedal to the metal. But have you stopped to think even one day where you are now compared to when you started? And it's like, oh my God, for the Lindsay and the Lindsay, when you started your business, and if you were able to project yourself what your life would look like now, have you ever even thought about how much you've accomplished?
Sometimes.
Yeah, I want to go back there.
I'm still not there. Yes, you are. But,
no, I said I don't want to go back there. That was horrible.
Oh, no, but you know, and maybe this is the thing, like you thought it might feel better, different, like Nirvana or something, but yet you're, how do we grow more? How do we grow fast? I want to serve more clients.
Yeah.
It's like, and I don't know, there used to be a song, probably a country song, you got to stop and smell the roses or smell the coffee or something. But once in a while, entrepreneur, Steph's laughing her ass off back there. Once in a while, you have to stop. What? Oh, never mind. Well, don't talk to me if you don't. I can't hear you with the.
Hello, Stephanie.
Stephanie, are you in your pajamas? I want to see you right now.
No, I got a headphone and she can't hear you girls. So once in a while, you really got to take stock on what you've accomplished. I did that with the last phone call I had today. This particular person was not in a good place.
Lindsay, was it you?
No, I'm not even going to say gender, I spent a little while going over where we are now compared to where we were, right? And just all these different things. And sometimes we need to be reminded because we're in perpetual haul ass mode, right? And it's not good.
You're always looking ahead, so sometimes you sort of forget where you've come from.
Exactly.
Okay, I want to give these people a daily, like, do you have 2 or 3 things I can do every single day, Jim, that will, if I am a crappy person at my mindset, what I can do every day to help improve that baby steps? Do you have anything like that?
Sure. If possible, before you get out of bed. No, I'll give you a couple. So if possible, before you get out of bed, assuming, you can hold off nature, before you get out of bed, you keep your eyes closed or whatever, and you just think about the blessings in your life. And you think about what's good. Because even in my darkest hour, when I'm unemployed, I'm out of money, I'm in debt, and even that period of time where I had the cancer and everything, man, I still got a wife and kids and parents and friends, and there's a couple church and a couple organizations where really there's so much good that sometimes we get mired in our own crap and we don't realize it. So literally, it gets very cliche-ish, I think, probably because of all the social media and the memes and things. But if you really do have an attitude of gratitude and think about the good things in your life, that's such a great way to start the day. So you know what I mean? Don't turn on the news, or don't open your email the first thing and see how many credit cards are declined. Things like that you want to avoid. So start with an attitude of gratitude. You want to do one thing before you clock out, turn off. And for me, when I'm done working, I get out of here and I go sit there. So I don't have a far commute, right? But whatever, if you work at home or somewhere else, when you're done, before you're done, before you technically close up shop, make sure you've done at least one thing to generate new business. It could be an email. It could be reaching into the drawer. And I know you guys have these. I've showed them to everybody's got the personal cards. You can write a little note and make sure you mail it away to somebody. You should mail 5 a week. You could do an email. You can just make a phone call. God forbid you reach out to somebody. They probably won't answer, but you can leave a nice voicemail. Send somebody a book that gave you a good interview. I mean, do one thing.
Yeah.
That's nice, but it's also most likely you're planting another seed that might create a harvest down the road. Because most of us are in firefighter mode. We're putting out one fire after the other. Lindsay, you and I, we just earlier this week, I think that man, I got to go. I got a couple fires. We all have fires in our business, but once in a while, make sure, and not once in a while, one thing before you leave, you do one thing. So because there's current business and future business. This is big with consultants. They get so wrapped up in their projects, that let's say they have 5 projects. They're all big. What if they all wrap up at the same time and suddenly it's like, holy crap, there's nothing in the pipeline. You got to keep your pipeline filled. And the only way your pipeline gets filled is if you continually plant seeds. And then the last thing I would say is I used to say this back in the day when I did Newsletter Guru TV. I said, before the day's out, make sure you go do one nice thing for somebody. My mantra used to be wave them into traffic. If, everybody won't let somebody in on the highway, God forbid you get home 10 seconds later. Somebody comes up short at the checkout line. Hey, nice coat. Good thing like that. Just do something nice for somebody. And it could be a simple smile, it could be holding the door.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you do that enough, it really becomes like part of your everyday thing. And that's a cool thing.
Love it. We have a couple comments. I love it. Stephanie says, I'm packing. I need a vacation from the stressful life.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Stephanie, for that.
That is too funny. She is stepping on my interview.
I love it. Stephanie, you are welcome to this interview. I know you can hear me even though he is silencing you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she's probably listening on it down there.
Yeah, true enough.
You know what's funny is, so we haven't met a lot of people yet because it's been butt cold down here, but it's nice. Today was nice. People are out. We met this one couple. And so if I go away for a while, I like to make sure at least one person knows I'm away and where we hide the key if they need to get on the boat. I said, yeah, we're going on vacation. And he goes, vacation from what?
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. I don't know.
Amen to that.
And I like
Sam backs you up with out loud in the morning. Yeah, say what you were grateful for. Sam also apparently hates his cell phone. And because he says no cell phone.
And his voicemail. Yes. I don't hear.
I would agree. When I am with the kids, I literally do not even take my cell phone with me because I want to be there and present with them. So I agree with Sam. I also want Jim to define the term butt cold if he could, possibly.
Butt cold. Well, I don't know. It's probably better that I don't. But
we didn't have butt cold. Up here in Canada, it was minus 40 Celsius. That was
last week. Three of our kids. Well, all four of our kids live in the Northeast. Right. Three of them in the Philadelphia area, and Jessica up in Rhode Island. And it was like 6 degrees. I mean, when it was butt cold here, because we didn't bring winter coats. I mean, we got like spring coats. I didn't even bring a sweatshirt because I thought I'm going to Florida, baby. I'm going to be hot. I had to buy extra long sleeve shirts, and we wear jeans a lot. But anyway, people don't want to hear the weather forecast. Nobody feels sorry for me in Florida.
Oh, Sam's at -5. Is anyone colder than Sam? We're doing
that is butt cold
here.
Yeah, warm. So Jim, if someone is they know they're struggling with their mindset, what resources can they go to seek help, or they feel like they can't do it alone? Where or who can they go to kind of turn that around so that they can propel?
I like that.
Now, honest to goodness, it is so hard. I mean, Melanie Benson, just a terrific friend of mine, she has been so instrumental in helping shape my success mindset, what we call a millionaire mindset, where you have no money issues, because you can repel or you can attract money based on the way you think about money. How many people here, if you go out to lunch with somebody and next thing you know, there's 3 or 4 people, or you think it's a group and it's a group and you assume, I don't know. Let me just simplify the question. How many people ever just reach for the check and pay for the whole thing? Because that money will come from somewhere. It's not a big deal. You expected to spend 10 or 12 or 15 on yourself, and you end up picking a check for $150. You do things like that, and that tells your brain that I'm not worried about money running out. If you become a very generous person, religious terms, maybe you become a tither. When you give away money, whether it's to charity or just treating your friends well, that is doing so much good for your brain. It's just hard to explain on a short interview, but I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So do you classify that because I've heard that more from a spiritual manifesting kind of person say that what you've just said about basically paying for the check and stuff like that. So do you consider that more like science and your brain is scientifically doing that, or are you coming from a woo-woo space? Are you a woo-woo person, Jim?
I wasn't a woo-woo person, and maybe some of the things I happen to believe now might be classified as woo-woo, but Well, I actually packed it up because we're going on vacation, but you know this. I keep money in my desk drawer. I keep money. Well, it's not in my car now because my car is up in Pennsylvania, but I keep money in the thing between the seats. There's money in that drawer over there because I like to tip the guys who help me with the fuel.
Now, next time I visit your boat.
Yeah. Cha-ching!
I missed that. What is that?
She's going to steal from you.
No, Lyndsay Phillips, what'd you say?
I said, good to know. Next time I visit you.
Oh, got it. Hey, you're welcome to it. And seriously, you know what's funny is this wasn't always that way for me. Trust me. You know, when you're broke and you're in debt, it's like, oh my goodness. But when you can change, people think there's a limited supply. And some people actually think if I make that sale, that's coming out of the mouth of my competitor. And geez, I don't like that, right? They think because one person gains, it comes from somebody else. That's not the case. There's enough for everybody. Everybody, listen, this is a big world. And again, my point is that if 80% of the small business owners fail and the rest of them only eke out a living, I guarantee they got money issues. And it comes from upbringing. You know, one of the things is called top of the stairs thinking. If you were a kid and you sat at the top of the stairs and you heard your parents downstairs talking about, we can't go on vacation, don't make sure we only got $60 for food this week. Let's see if we can keep the kids' shoes for another. You hear all of that. That is telling your brain, and it's conditioning your brain, even before you have any dreams of being a business owner, that there's a limited supply of money. There's not. There's more money to go around. All you have to do is provide enough value, solve enough problems, and make sure the right people who are interested in that value and have that problem find out about you. I'm telling you, it's not that hard.
I love it. Cindy Mount is asking if that's our technical term.
She's in our group. She's in our Build Your Dream Business group.
Lindsay,
connected on
half
social
an hour
media.
away from me.
She's wondering if woo-woo is a technical term.
Yeah.
I would love to know what a better term than woo-woo is. Although
But Melanie uses that term.
Yeah,
that's Melanie's term.
There is definitely something to it. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Totally agree.
So listen, if anybody is struggling with money, if you go to getjimpalmer.com, you'll see it, or just /serve first. Getjimpalmer.com /serve first. It's a 42-minute audiobook that I did, and I explain from the time when I was a chiseler and thought putting $5 in the offering plate was a lot to where I am today, not only in terms of money, but we're also supposed to give our time. And, oh, I'm too busy. Well, you know what? When you start serving others, Zig Ziglar, you know, who was a Christian, but he also said, if you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want. It's not like he's banking on all these people you're helping and serving being really good people. There are forces. I happen to believe in God of the universe. Some people just think it's world, spirit, universe, whatever you want to think of it. There is a higher power, and there is a reward for living your life in the correct way. But that is something you might want to check out if you have money issues. The other thing, I think you asked me originally, where does somebody go for help with mindset? That's why I wrote the book Decide, because when I started sharing some of my own crap at DBA to encourage people, so many people, and I was really done writing. When I wrote Stop Waiting for It to Get Easier, and I had, Kevin Harrington write the foreword. I mean, this is it. I'm done. I can't do better than that. And then so many people said, more people need to hear about the crap that you dealt with, how you got over it, because they're all dealing with it. So the book Decide, which, by the way, you can literally get for free. I just asked you to pay the shipping and handling at decideforsuccessbook.com. That is a mindset book. I'll say it. It's a damn fine mindset book.
Damn fine. Let me say it.
It's damn fine. Yeah. There you go.
I love it.
What are we tackling next?
I think we're about at our max, aren't we, Lindsay?
I know. We
usually 9:44.
Stop around this time.
I know.
Yeah.
My drink
Lyndsay Phillips,
so
Lyndsay Phillips probably has kids to put to bed, and you probably have dinner to get to.
That's right. Not all of us can live on a boat, retire quite yet.
Oh my God!
Jim.
I cannot believe this went by so quickly. Gosh,
it does.
That was super fun.
Are all your shows this good?
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
no, this is a special show. This is very special.
There we go.
And
Wow.
and also, Jim, Lindsay and I doing this, we talked at DBA, Dream Business Academy back in September or something like that, about doing this because I had a huge fear about doing live Facebooks. And it was like, hi, Becky.
Hey, Becky.
It was, I knew I had to do it. I knew I should, but it was all those stupid mind chatter crap. And then I'm like, hey, Lindsay, let's just hang out. We love each other. We're totally good friends. We're good colleagues. And let's hang out and have some wine and just chat about marketing and see how it goes. And we started, at the end of November, something like that?
Yep, right after we got home from BBA.
And you each have your own show. So it's not like, well, I have a podcast. I don't need that. You can have multiple podcasts.
Oh, yep.
And I agree with Stephanie. You guys make a great team.
Thanks.
Thank you, Stephanie. My FBLive stopped working, so I can't show comments anymore for some reason. But thank you, Stephanie. Stephanie said, you guys make a great team. I have to agree.
I do too. And we honestly, part of it was just doing it for ourselves, just so we could hang out and see each other and chat. And we're like, let's just see what goes.
That's right.
You know what holds some people back from doing a podcast, aside from the personal fears? They fear like, I'm not going to get a big enough audience. Right.
That's not why you podcast. I heard from my business coach. That's not why you podcast.
That's not why you podcast. And I'm not even going to talk about the advantages you have of connecting with cool people just in your own thing.
I love that.
But here's another thought about, and I think this is true about social media. You know how I feel about going for bestseller status. Who gives a crap? If you would, what I did like videos for 6 years, like to produce videos. Now I don't do it anymore. I just do Facebook Live all the time. It's a great way to connect with people. But when you jump on and I look in the lens or the camera or if I'm interviewing somebody, I'm always picturing one person. It's who I've created to be my avatar, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't think about, do I have 50 people listening? Are there 500? Might this be the week I hit 5,000? It doesn't matter. First of all, if you think you're going to have an audience that big, it probably will rattle up the nerves a little bit. If in every episode you do, if you can serve one person, if you can say one thing that's going to move somebody forward, and you may never know them, by the way, they may never send you an email or thank you or do anything, but what you guys are doing, it not only just sharing your own knowledge and what you've done with your amazing businesses, but having guests on, the value that you're putting out there, whether 10 people hear it or 100 people hear it, you're doing a really good thing. So what I'm saying is stop focusing on the numbers and start focusing on serving people, because you really make connections one at a time. That's always been the case. Like when you start your business on day one, you get your first client. That is number one. And then you get number two. Eventually you might have a bunch, but it's always one-to-one. Yeah. Even in the marketing we're doing now, which gives us the ability to do one-to-many, you're always trying to connect with one person.
And see, Jim, he can't stop being a business coach, can he, Lindsay? I think that was a beautiful way to let Jim get to bed because he's retired, right?
I'm not retired. I am most definitely not retired.
The platform is yours. Unfortunately, my FBLive isn't working, so I can't post your freaking URL. But please,
somebody's posted. So who's doing that? Is that you, Lyndsay Phillips?
No, I don't have access. I don't have.
Oh, somebody's sharing comments.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, Jim, the time is yours. Tell us everything about you and definitely tell us about this awesome Facebook group you're running that everyone needs to join, especially, but then you can tell them whatever else you want to tell them.
Well, getjimpalmer.com is an awesome website that you built, One-Click Lindsey, and that's kind of my home base, right? Where I'm directing most people to go now is Dream Biz Group, Dream BIZ Group, and that's just a URL that's easy to remember. It redirects you to my Facebook group that I started about Thanksgiving, and I told you, One-Click, and I told Adam, both really helpful admins, I would love to be at 200 people by the end of the year. We hit it on like December 31st, and honestly, I could have been there a lot sooner. We could be at another 50 to 60 people, but I reject a lot of people, and I don't want to seem mean. But if you say I want to join and you can't answer 3 simple questions, or if I look, because it tells me this person belongs to like 402,000 Facebook groups.
Yeah.
I know they're just a perpetual Facebook joiner. So we've put together this group. It's called Build Your Dream Business Now. I don't think Becky's in there, but she should be. She's got a really good servant heart, right? So Build Your Dream Business Now, or you can go to Dream Biz Group and it'll redirect you there and join. It's just a way that I wanted to just like this. So this might be a little woo-woo thinking on my part, but I'm at a point in my life.
Woo-woo warning, woo-woo warning.
I'm at a point in my life where, I mean, I truly feel so blessed that we can just live this life that we're living. And I want to, whether you call it pay it forward, pay it back, pay it forward, whatever the terminology is, I want to help other people be able to do this. Mm-hmm. It's like if you found the secret to the lottery or you found a cure for something, it's like you want to go share it with your friends. I'm not going to lie. This is kick butt. We totally love it. We set an 18-month plan originally. Screw that. We're going to do this for at least 5 years, maybe longer. It's so much fun.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, we actually, Lyndsay Phillips, might come up your way to the Great Lakes and then into Canada and stuff like that. There's so much we can do. It's literally, you know what's funny? It's, some people go, oh, I've moved 6 times in 12 years or something. We counted up. I think we've moved 22 times in like 6 weeks or no, since we started.
Yeah,
we've literally moved our house because every time we cast off and go somewhere else, we're taking our house with us. But it's fun because we're seeing a lot of the country. We're meeting some really cool people. We're visiting all the small towns. I forget why I went there. Oh, because I want to help other people, whether their goal is to live on a boat or live on the beach or just to stay where they are and be debt free, whatever that is. The surest way I know to create wealth is to become an entrepreneur. And if you're going to go all the pain, hassle, and heartache of being an entrepreneur, why do you want to sub-exist on like 50 grand a year? Why don't you create an incredible income and do it right? So that's the purpose of this Facebook group. Just like any group, if there's 230 people in there now, I'm guessing 180 are just going to come in and take free stuff and learn. But there's going to be a small group of people who rise to the top and share and help each other. And they'll want to take their business to the next level. So that's why I do it. So anybody that's watching would love to have you be part of it.
I love it. Thank you. And that's why Jim's the dream business coach, because he's sincere and he truly just wants to help you grow your dream business, whatever that looks like. So Lindsay
has helped us build our dream businesses. And of course, Lindsey Anderson with trafficandleads.com.
It's called One-Click, actually. That's my name.
One-Click.
Try again. Try again.
So you asked, can I have 2 more minutes?
Yes.
So who am I going to pick on? Oh, I think I'm going to pick on Lyndsay Phillips. Lindsay, even though One-Click asked me, tried to really probe deep and get me to share something about me. There was something, we did an event in Annapolis, and then I did something called Masterminding in the Chesapeake, where I had a small group of people out on my boat. Sam Gaylord was there. In fact, so many people signed up, I had to rent another boat. But you had a profit seat, and that was very much in the beginning stages of you building your VA empire that you have now. I remember we had some calls, and you were struggling, and then all of a sudden, when you came to Annapolis and your profit seat, do you remember sitting on the boat and you were in tears and you said, I've got all these new clients, I'm trying to hire staff, and I'm just going crazy. Do you remember what I said to you?
Suck it up.
Suck it up. This is what you've been waiting for. What are you crying for?
Your profit seat after me.
This is what you've been waiting for.
I know.
But that's seriously, you know what? That's part of what working with an experienced coach will do. I know exactly what you were going through. And now you've blasted through at least 3 or 4 of the big goals that you've set. And who knows where you are now, but
it forced me to make systems and procedures and get organized and scale, and everything happens for a reason.
That's right. That's right. You just reminded me, and the other Lindsay there, she stepped into the profit seat right after that and had a similar episode.
Yes.
Right. Lots of episodes on that boat.
Well, thanks for having me on, girls. This was so much fun.
It was so much fun. Lindsay, Lindsay, give us your URL before we leave.
Yeah, smoothbusinessgrowth.com, baby.
She specializes, if you are running a podcast, talk to her, or content marketing. Captain Lindsay. I'm Lindsay, One-Click Lindsey with oneclicklindsey.com and trafficandleads.com, trafficandleads.com.
Why the one click?
Why not? Oh, well, I mean, that's
because
let's see, trafficandleads.com, where
because the answer to your slow growth
is just one click away.
God, Lindsay, come on.
It's like freaking 7 o'clock on a glass of wine. Come on. I only
because the answer to your slow growth is one click away. Oh, that was good.
All right. We'll see you guys later.
Bon voyage.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.